All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We got game number 3. Excuse me there. As you can see, we got game number 3 coming at you. dnL Esports versus the Law. This is it to see who moves on to the semifinals, to see who moves on to face the winner of the Alliance, or make that to face Lion Esports Club as they defeat Recent Gaming 2-0, despite not having a couple of their players. Quick update on that once again. Ready for a Miracle ties it up against Team NK, so that series is 1-1 apiece. And then Stay Green versus Team Excellent. I believe that's going to a game 3 if I'm not mistaken. On the brackets, there's a little bit of a bug on there, but I believe that one also is heading to a game 3. So, the game 3's here in this round of 8. That's good to see when it comes down to it. So I have some updates for you after this game, of course, as well. So, but with that said, I'm joined by, once again, Diglett here as my co-caster. So, Diglett, welcome back.
Thanks. Happy to be here. Happy to see some HoN after the holiday break, because it was gone for a while. There wasn't really much going around, and all the teams kind of mismatched. Some teams disbanded, new teams formed, so it's interesting to come back and see what has changed.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say it's nice to see all the changes and people taking effect to them, only in the game and in the teams themselves.
Well, that's kind of what I was going to get at. It's yes, you could look at it as like almost like a scary thing, like, oh, great, teams are quitting and disbanding and whatnot. But at the same time, it's also somewhat of an exciting time. I mean, like, as I said, with the biggest patch coming out at the holidays, a little bit of a break there. Teams, we got time to kind of make some adjustments, move on to other teams, whatever. We got a couple cycles left here in HoN Tour, and obviously that's the big event going on amongst other ones that may pop up here and there, but. It really is going to be fun. I mean, even just today, we've already had every single game, it seems like, we've had at least one really interesting, if not a couple interesting things to talk about when it comes to hero picks and whatnot. So things are changing, and this is just day number 1 of many more to come for the new year of 2014. So that's going to be a lot of fun to see. So with that said, obviously we are advancing on here in game number 3, excuse me. Look at the extra time, by the way. Wow, they're down to 7 seconds already. So we got the Law over here using a bit of extra time. But by the way, real quickly, the initial bans, it was Tundra Drunken Master taken out by Znui. And then you had Ophelia Pestilence taken out by dnL Esports. Wretched Ag going to be first picked into Bubbles. Kraken into Tempest. Engineer then third pick. So even with these nerfs happening, the Law is still a fan of going the Engineer pickup. Anything standing out to you so far?
No. Again, it's what you said. People playing their comfort zone. They've been playing these heroes the past few months, the same sort of lineups. So I'm not surprised that they banned out, their signature heroes like Mickey on Drunken and Probusk on Tundra, because they're really strong. Even with the new heroes coming into play, it's their comfort zone. So
it is. Especially that Tundra. I mean, that's the one big one where it's like, He showed a DreamHack especially. That is not a hero you do not want to let them mess with. So, going to ban that here, especially if they get that Parasite Tundra combination. That's just a whole other level. Anyways, speaking of that, Parasite is still on the board, actually. So that wouldn't be out of the question if it happens to pass this banning stage to be picked up here by the Law. But Grinix coming out with the final pick for dnL Esports. Another one of these heroes that he had zero presence whatsoever on the competitive scene, and all of a sudden, I think it was Jonas Fan was one of the first one to start that picked him up, did very well with him, and kind of started popping up more and more. And now he's considered more of a go-to support or a suicide option even. So Grinix obviously picked up here for dnL. Parasite was banned out. Okay, I was looking for that. Sandwraith, Flux, Warbeast, Parasite, Moon Queen, and Ravener were the bans here. Scout unbanned and actually is being right-clicked by the Law. Scout did get nerfs. You think Scout is an eligible option here?
I think the main thing that they nerfed was his laning presence, adding the extra mana cost to Vanish, so that you can't toggle Vanish as much at earlier levels. Yeah. So you can't really creep pull as easily. You definitely take a lot more damage, and it's harder to stay in lane. So I think that's why Grinix has taken a lot of teams have taken a liking to Grinix. Overall, he does a ton of more damage earlier on, especially with his passive, because he does physical damage. And he has a lot of presence in the game, where Scout's a little bit slower earlier on, and he has more late game utility with his silences and stuff like that.
Yeah. Look at that. Pebbles into Cersei. So dnL Esports, we were criticizing a little bit maybe of support in his play of Cersei and maybe not using the doppelganger as much as you'd have liked to see, but he is going to run it here once again. So had a lot of fun with it in the first game, I'm sure, and figuring that the potential is too strong to pass up here once again. Now, they won't get the Moon Queen combo, as obviously Moon Queen is banned out, but what are they shaping up for here? I mean, they got a lot of options, obviously. As far as right click, carry presence probably, but is there one that stands out to you you'd like to see?
I mean, my personal favorites, I don't know. Gemini's up there, because he's a really fun hero. Flensmeister, he's kind of popular for going corrupted, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that, especially against something like Pebbles, where you can take all of his damage and he's rather slow, so it's an easy target to conduit. But I don't see anything that pairs really well with Cersei. But the problem with Cersei is that it kind of gives away their lanes, because they can't really dual lane mid with that, because, as you said, it's kind of a weak support, especially in lane, because you only have, like, one nuke, and it costs a lot of mana, so they're definitely going with the pseudo-short tri-lane.
Yeah. So we'll most likely see her. In fact, Silhouette being right-clicked. That's one that we haven't seen in forever, on the competitive scene at least, but it's possible. I mean, 12 seconds now remaining, so we'll see what they end up with now in a matter of seconds here. But dnL Esports, obviously Torture was the final pick, by the way, for the Law, of course. So there are all 5 ready to go. It's going to be Master of Arms. I don't know if I saw that one coming, but Master of Arms is their final pick. And so, I mean, I assume, so yeah, it's probably still going to be that pseudo short tri lane here. So just get favoring farm, though, to Master of Arms. Or will it be Grinix, you think? I mean,
I feel that with their lineup, it's no, never mind.
Take that back. Nice.
Slapped his AFK.
Yeah.
But yeah, the lineup threw me off too.
Yeah, how do you go AFK when you pick? He just went AFK. He picks a hero that goes AFK. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, so we are going to have a remake. Obviously, he's lapped. It would be playing the Tempest here, but not going to be happening in this game. So we'll have to do a remake. But okay, so yeah, it's probably going to be again the Master of Arms in the short lane with the Cersei here. But that's it. Nice. That was AFK. Yeah. No, really. There we go. All right. But yeah, so you're thinking about both lineups right there. I mean, is anything standing out, any out matches going on, or you think both teams drafted pretty nicely there?
I'd give the draft to dnL because they have a jungler. If you can protect the jungler and allow them to get what they need, they definitely take over the game. As you see time and time again, Tempests and even Keeper jungles, Parasite, Ophelia, they're just so strong with their mobility and their presence in the game. So I think if Law aggressively tri-lanes or does something out of the ordinary to really favor aggression and not allow Master of Arms, who needs kind of a lot of items to carry, if they don't allow him to get those items, I think the Law will be in a good spot.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like we are loading into the Game 3 Part 2 here. Captain's pick. We're going to have to do, unfortunately, it is a captain's pick once again, so we'll need to go through the initial phase, but shouldn't take too long here. Ban of the Artillery. Artillery's that third hero. You know, we talked about Salamon, we talked about Cersei. Obviously, we've seen him even a couple times today, especially Cersei. Artillery, what are your thoughts on Artillery? You think he's going to be a dangerous hero in the competitive scene?
I don't think he's going to be that much of a problem. With the nerf to his Q, to where you can't really just annihilate creep waves, I definitely think he's going to be seen less and less, but I still think he's a strong hero.
Yeah.
I think we'll see Solomon a lot more in regular Team M games. Getting a 10-minute mock is pretty standard.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We had a ward in here. We're going to have to remake again.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, so you're talking about Artillery and
Solomon, yeah. Solomon's Wish for Wealth it's really helpful, but again, if you don't have a jungler, it's not that great. So, as you're seeing, carries are more so aggressive than they are farming, as compared to the old days where you had Mage Bane for like 50 minutes, or Silhouette, or Draconis, you know? So, Salmon's one of those rising heroes where you kind of need the jungle to really utilize him. Otherwise, your Wish for Wealth procs will just keep falling off, and you don't really get the huge gold bonuses. But he's a strong hero nonetheless, especially if you get like a Resto Stone for 2 ultis. It's kind of crazy to see it. Yeah, no, I can't. We saw that in that game too. Team K. It was pretty ridiculous. I mean, they were stacking the jungle. He was having 500 to 600 GPM 10 minutes into the game, and it was 0 hero kills. I mean, that was just all creep farm. It's just pretty ridiculous to think that, but. He was up there. He went. He eventually got the mock, and then eventually got the Resto Stone later on. But yeah, we definitely saw the potential there of what he's able to do with that farm. So he is one that just because again, just seeing the number stand out will be fun to keep an eye on as he develops into the scene. So all right, looks like okay. I think we're going once again. So third time's a charm, right? So hopefully, hopefully this time. Hopefully no AFKs and misclicks. Yeah, no. We need to pray. AFK immediately. Master of Arms. I mean, just how do you do that? You literally just drafted 2 seconds ago. AFK. Yeah. All right, let's see. Will they actually make it through? This is apparently tougher than actually playing the game. The draft. All right. Looks like we're good. Crossing the fingers. One more. There we go. What is it? They figured it out. Yes. We're good. We have actually made it to the game. And the crowd goes wild. Remake. I'll actually be right back real quick, Breaky. Okay. At least you don't need to swap heroes or anything. That's good. All right. So, again, here we are. Game number 3. We got dnL Esports versus The Law. Like we were talking about, it seems like 3 of the 4 series in total actually going to a Game 3. That's pretty cool to see. Lions, the only one that took care of business in 2 games. They took out Recent Gaming. 2 games to nothing, so obviously that sets up the winner of this will play Lion Esports Club in the winner bracket semifinals tomorrow. The other 2 series, Stay Green versus Team Excellent, and then Ready for a Miracle versus Team NK. Those 2 series will match up against one another in the winner bracket semifinals, which once again we'll be casting tomorrow. So, all right, the good luck, have fun's coming out. Let me switch the overlay real quickly right here. Get that in-game going. There we go. Once again, obviously going to be the final game for today. So, and I must say, I mean, every game really has just been a fun. It's been a fun day to cast as expected. Hopefully, it's been fun to watch. From just a lot of entertainment, from hero kills and whatnot, to just different kind of picks and everything. So. And we're finishing off strong here at game number 3 between 2 very quality teams. And once again, we get to see Circe being played by support here. I believe I'm pronouncing that. I heard Beef pronounce it differently earlier. I just want to... Let me see, actually. I'm back, by the way. Oh, you're back? How do you pronounce it Circe? How do you pronounce it? I pronounce it Circe. That's how I hear everyone else say it. Oh. So, I mean... Probably like that, like pecans, like pecans, same thing. Circe. You know? Okay, according to Google Translate, it's Circe. Circe. It's just I've heard that as well. Yeah, that's how Beef was saying it. So. Circe. I like Circe. I like my way. My way, best way. All right. Anyways, enough of that. Okay, so we're into the game now. What do we got here? Middle lane. We got Master of Arms, Circe. Going to be going up against Wretched Hag here, so obviously the Law is decided to send the Wretched Hag middle. They got a defensive tri-lane down here. They got Pebbles with a Torturer Engineer. How about this decision coming out by the Law? I mean, that means Kraken's going to be Suicide top, so they really are prioritizing farm on Pebbles here. Yeah, I think that's really strange, especially because they ran 5 top when they saw the bubbles up there. So they should have known that he's kind of up there if they're not going to ward down bottom. Yeah. Well, so I think it's a good call from dnL sending the dual lane mid because they can't really get tri-lane to middle. So if if anything, Master of Arms can just 1v1 like he is now, and Cersei can roam. So good call on them. But yeah, I think the try-in is strange.
Yeah, and now Cersei is just going to enter the top lane, as you put it, and this going to start boxing out Kraken here. So yeah, it's really Engineer. You know, he is going to make his way to the middle initially, and maybe go for an attempt here on a Master of Arms. But no, Master's going to react a little too quickly, and he'll be more than fine. But you know, with the way things are setting up here, is Engineer actually going to plan to sit here in the middle lane? It looks like he very likely may. He's going to try to box out this Master of Arms. Now, Master does have the 1 level advantage right here. He does get hit by the kick stun, though, so Snooey's able to get a couple of extra auto attacks in, but has to run away before too much happens. As Master of Arms did a good job of boxing him out. So, bottom lane, though, Grinix, he's again taking some good pressure, only able to do so much, of course. Actually going to pull it to the tower right there and at least go for a creep kill. Nice job right there. But your top lane, Bubbles, is setting up to have a pretty good time up here. Especially if he has Cersei to support. Engineer's going to sit on this Hasten in the meantime. We'll see if Snooey can maybe get a kill attempt here. They might try to... I think they're going to collapse in the middle, yeah. Torture's coming in right here. He has chain reactions. Can they land the initial stun? Yes, they can. Chain reactions. The kick set on top. Stun on a Wretched Hag. Master of Arms is trying to get a counter kill with a tower assistance, but it's not going to happen. Bloodlust kill in favor of Engineer. It's that all-powerful level 1 Hasten there coming out. Good job with the roam by the law.
I stand corrected. Master of Arms can be tri-laned.
Apparently. Apparently. Yeah, so doing a good job right there of setting up with the Hasten. Back to the top lane again, Kraken. He's going to start to be boxed. He actually runs up to Cersei, but in the end he has to fall back once again. As though he does get hit right there by the Immobilize, or the Entrapment even. Shellsurf connects. Yes, Bubbles is going to get the kill. I was going to say, Provost could definitely go for this. And sure enough, he does. He's going to take a little bit of tower damage, but hell, he got a hero kill out of it. So, nice plays at the top lane, I guess.
Kraken, yeah, really well done. I think it was really greedy out of Kraken to be up that far, but he just took the extra damage and couldn't deal with it. But really well done from Probusk.
Yep, 3.5 minutes in right here. We got obviously a 1-1 hero kill game now. I find it interesting, actually. Pebble's actually getting a first item, Gloves of the Swift. So, of course, expect to see that turn into a Steam Boots here, but it is a little bit odd seeing that as a first item coming out here, but just wants a little bit of an increased attack speed for the extra last hitting, I guess. But would you ever do that? Or what do you think of that?
I haven't really been watching bottom, but just based on the heroes, it's definitely so that he can attack faster than Grinix and get the last hits.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine. I've rarely done Pebbles versus Grinix. I haven't played Pebbles in the longest time.
Damn it, Tigglet, get on it. Get on that matchup. Engineer is actually in trouble. Speaking of Grinix right here, they find him, and that is going to be an easy kill. Chain reactions a second too late. He was running over, but could not get there in time. So, good collapse coming out. Grinix is going to take a little bit of pressure, but he has full bottle charges, so he's not too concerned about Torture doing too much to him. So, good roaming coming out at 4.5 minutes in. Another kill happening, this time in favor of dnL Esports. So, Cersei has obviously found himself back to the middle lane now. They're going to look to help box out the Wretched Hag once again. So, it's already turning out to be a pretty action-packed game here early on in this game. Now, Brodix 5 level, he's sitting on 1,100 plus gold. I mean, he went the Gloves of the Swift first, so I assume it's going to be an early Steam Boots. But, I mean, could you see him possibly just saving up straight for the Portal Key, or does he need that build-up initially?
Personally, I feel it's always better to go for the Steam Boots, just because you need the mana. He's a relatively slow hero, especially if you get the ulti, which most people favor for now because of the nerfed combo damage.
Yeah.
So going for that PK, I don't really think they'll be able to get much done with it. Just because Tempest is pretty passive. They're doing support's doing a really good job of roaming and warding. So I don't really think they can get much done with that. I doubt he'd go up. He went for the Alkbones. I was going to say,
wow,
he'd probably be going for Alkbones, but he should have bought it a lot sooner. At least the recipe.
That is interesting, yeah.
It's very interesting, but I don't really think it's going to do much on Pebbles. I think he definitely would have been better off going for Steam Boots and a Portal Key.
Yeah.
Just getting hero kills instead of farm.
Exactly. It is such an odd item to see on a hero like Pebbles. I mean, yeah, I mean, you had some good logic there with his ultimate, you know, getting that attack speed, not the worst thing in the world, I guess, but yeah, it just seems like this hero really benefits from being able to farm other heroes, not creep farm as soon as possible. So this is obviously going to slow it down a little bit. Now, at the same time, though, this is kind of similar to the Pestilence build that we've seen on Swinnamelons recently, at least in the last cycle. Excuse me there. In the short lane Pestilence, where he would actually go the first item Alchemist Bones and then eventually get the Portal Key Shrunken Head to follow, and it really worked. It seemed like it worked out pretty damn well in those situations. So I kind of feel like that's what Brodex is going for here when it comes down to his play on Pebbles. So, oh, excuse me there. It does advance, obviously, his farm quite a bit. But, you know, is it the most impactful choice? Well, only time will tell this game, at least.
Yeah. Unless the other team out-aggresses you, it's usually not a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not really happening, but as I say that, the top lane Kraken, obviously he gets collapsed on, even gets beat by his own illusion right there. And that's what Cersei allows to happen. So Bubbles, did Tempest ultimate? No, he still has his ultimate. Bubbles did Kelfield. But the Elemental Void was not used right there. So they do enough for the kill, and they are going to go for the top tower push now. It's not going to be stopped. This should be an easy tower kill. So, I mean, that's the thing, though. You mentioned as long as they're not out-aggressing you, but as a team, it's going pretty well now for dnL Esports. So is that a little bit even more of a concern, the fact that your Pebbles went early Alchemist Bones here?
Yeah, because now they definitely don't have that initiation that they would normally have. Because right now he should have, like, almost a Portal Key and his Scheme Boots, but instead he just has Alch Bones and nothing else. So he kind of needs to sit here for a little bit. Their jungle is stacked, which I'm surprised they haven't taken it, especially Torture. He's just stacking stuff. He's not really taking anything. Yeah. Which I feel he should be.
And actually, they might steal it here. I mean, the Hellborn team, they're making their way over. All 5 of them are in the vicinity. They're going to look to make something happen. Grenix is over here. They're going to see these stacks as they run by. They're going to do them. So right as you say that, it's almost as if dnL's like, yeah, thank you. We'll just we'll take these from you. No big deal. And they're going to do them as a team. So Torture is stacking basically for the other team at this point. And that, I mean, that hurts because we're still very early on in this game. That's even that much more significant. So just like that, the gold lead even growing a little bit right there. For the Hellborn side, you have, in the meantime, in the middle lane, they're trying to counter-push. Wretched Ag leading the way with Torture's assistance, but not going to be able to do it just yet. Pebbles does get a power supply on top of his little red boots, so not even finishing the steam boots yet. Getting the power supply first. They do finish the middle tower, though, in the meantime. So at least they're able to get a good gold boost for the team. And we're so focused on Pebbles. How's the other rest of the team doing? Wretched Ag's actually not doing too bad. Especially after that tower kill. She has 1,600 gold saved up. She has about 290 gold per minute. Again, this kind of goes back to what you were talking about earlier. It's not as... If you were hacked this game, does Grimoire scream to you? Does maybe something else? What would you think she should go for here?
She should definitely be going for earlier items, heading towards Gravelocket and Sackstone, and getting even... that's probably the safest bet to go, although... they don't have a lot of physical damage. Grenix does himself do a ton of physical damage alone. So I feel that would warrant a Sackstone by itself. But going for something like a Shrunken Head first even wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah.
Just because I feel that she may even have to initiate if Pebbles doesn't get his Portal Key soon.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I mean, he's doing some Ancients right here. He does finish a Steam Boot, so they're cleaning up some triple stack Ancients as a team. We'll see if Pebbles is actually able to get the majority of these or not. He doesn't have enough mana for his oh, yeah, he does with Intellect Steam Boots, so using it right there, but they still got a decent amount of life on them, so it's going to be pretty close right. He needs to be careful, obviously, not to die to these. That'd be embarrassing. And he's going to have to fall back before finishing them off in the end. So, yeah, his farm, again, it's good. It's very good, 430 gold per minute. But he knows it's most likely going to be getting that Portal Key. Next in line here. So you mentioned the hack, though. What her build-up is looking like so far, it is a little bit early. We'll see where she goes from here when it's all said and done. Kraken, level 7, Beaver, 266 GPM. So despite those 2 deaths, despite the same death, though, Critics finds him, going for the easy kill. Release that Kraken. Kraken will fall, but at what cost here? Critics, Steve's the message call going to come out. That may be the Saving's Grace. No, the Impalement's used. And down goes Grinnick. So they do make it a 1-for-1 at least. As Kraken Did not see that one coming. So good pickup from Critics, but it does cost him his life in the end, unfortunately. But as far as farm for the Hellborn team, you do look at Bubbles, Master, and Tempest. All seeming like they're doing pretty damn well. And actually, middle lane, Pebbles, one auto attack away, somehow gets away. He is going to live. The Fork Lightning attempt will miss right there. And Kraken ports in to scare them off, so that would have been a big kill on the Pebbles to slow him down. But they're not able to come through. Master Farms, though, you know, especially with farm like this kind of takes back to the slick days of playing Master. Love to build that tablet of command early on the Energizer. Go more utility. Hold that thought. Kraken's going to be coming here. Can he survive this time? No, he cannot. He will go down yet again. And this time, Grinix will survive, it looks like. But what I'm getting at Master of Arms, what would you like to see? He does get the Energizer first, but...
it's definitely the right route to go. Just go more aggression, because the Legion has 2 supports which have pretty much nothing. Both at like 130 GPM. So as long as they keep being aggressive, even Tempest solo holding the Pebbles is fine. Granted, they didn't get the kill on it. It's still an attempt, and it's still forcing the Legion to react to their pushing and aggression, and then they can't farm. So, although Hag is recovering and doing better, and Pebbles is just jungling with his outbounds, they're still in a little bit of trouble with how aggressive denial is being.
Yeah. You do see Products right here. He comes to the middle lane, help clean up a little bit right there. So that's what's done is done. Now goes back into the jungle, as you were talking about. Still has a minute and a half on the cooldown on the Alchemist bone, so not going to be able to use that just yet. But he has 1,500 gold saved up about. So again, getting ever so close to that portal key pickup. But talking about Master of Arms, Energizer finished, another 900. We'll see what he goes for next. Mystic Vestments obviously important, and I do see on three of the 5 main heroes coming out for dnL Esports, they do have Mystic Vestments, so that's good to see for their sake. Mickey may also be going for an Energizer, by the way. He currently also has a double damage rune saved up. And we do see just a little bit of pressure in the middle lane, but not too much. Well, what are your thoughts on stacking Energizer, by the way, and getting a couple of Energizers for the same team? Is that ever a big deal?
No, I just think it's good, especially if your team coordinates when you use them, because you can really chase down a team. Or just using them for pushing even is fine. And as far as Grinix goes, it's fine for him because he can just energize and then invis, and he'll have max movement speed.
Yeah. You see right there, energizing away as a team, as they really want to try to make something happen in this middle lane, but the Legion team, the Law, doing a great job of eventually holding it off, and you see Kraken out the top side. He needs to be careful as Bubbles ports in. Has support coming out, but Kraken is going to be able to TP out in time, so... Not too much to worry about there. You see Grinix maybe trying to find him, but not going to be happening. He's able to get away. Master of Farms in the meantime. Triple stack Ancients. Going to look to clean these bad boys up over here. Currently is by himself, though, so might be a little bit of time, but poking away at them. How's that portal key coming along? It looks like he has it. 2,200 gold saved up, so Product's 5 level. About a 14.5-minute portal key here on top of the Alchemist Mode. It's not too shabby when it's all said and done. So, I don't know. What do you thought? You know, we're talking about that. It's very risky. Do you feel like now that he has a portal key, was it worth the Alchemist Bones? Do you think it was still a sacrifice to go for it and maybe not the best choice, or was it worth it in the end?
I don't think it was worth it, especially with the nerf to Pebbles. His combo being weaker than it used to be. Now you don't really one-shot people as often, and now giving them time. Even support has steam boots now, so I don't even think Pebbles combo will one-shot support. So, and now Bubbles has the Sackstone, an early game item, just to stop that Pebbles aggression. So even at this, I feel like the portal key was a little bit too late.
Yeah,
and he could have even gone for something else. Although a Shroud may seem like jokingly or trolly, I think it would have been even okay. As far as initiation goes, still, I don't know. He should have gone for the staff.
Obviously, I would have.
But
well, they find a kill right there at least. Able to pick off Grinix. Obviously, got some assistance from his teammate. Now Grinix does not. He's one of the few heroes that doesn't have a Mystic Vestment. So, and he went the Ghost Marches on top of that. So yeah, he is pretty squishy still. And yeah, that shows there.
Yeah, Pebbles kind of fell into that category with Parasite where he does a lot of damage, but it's almost not enough at most times. And so it's enough if you have someone else. So Hag just coming in and screaming, or Tort stunning, or NG kegging is more than enough.
Oh, he tried to get the real one, but unfortunately, the real one is escaping. Yes, that's what he does with that deceive and whatnot. So, good job by Cersei right there, just being very sneaky, I guess. That's the point of the hero. Anyways, Wretched Dag, okay, she actually went the light brand, so she's not going to be going that build up. She's going the light brand here into the Grimoire, more just that routine build when it's all said and done. So it kind of goes against what you're saying, Diglett. Is he wrong here?
See, I don't understand it. They're all going for farm, but there's not enough farm for them to take up.
Yeah.
You know? Although they don't have a jungler, and they did stack the jungle, but they never took it.
Yeah.
So they didn't really utilize that properly. I'm glad that Tort is just static farming top, being the, semi-support and semi-carry, as NG's just the solo support now, so that they have a little bit of a beefier team, and Tort can actually do more stuff now that he has vestments. But yeah, I don't feel that they will have enough farm to spread the wealth between Pebbles' Alkbones and Hag's Lightbrand.
Lightbrand and the Grimoire, yeah. I was going to say, for the Hellboard team, again, for dnL, they're the ones with the 4,000 goal lead, 5,700 experience lead. Master of Arms is leading the way. It's very slight. Him, Tempest, and Bubbles are all up there. But Master of Arms, he is going to be going for that Shrunken Head first. So, again, kind of sticking more of that utility style. But, I was actually going to bring this up, too. Nullfire played yet another item that got changed this last patch. It got buffed quite a bit, even cheaper to buy now. Do you think Nullfire play is underrated? Do you think that could be a possible good pickup here?
Yeah, personally, I'm a fan of Nullfire and all the good items that are undervalued. Like Spell Shards, I get it all the time. I get Staff all the time. Staff is crazy on certain heroes.
Oh,
and I think Nullfire is one of those that's really undervalued. Especially in late game, you can use it a lot more. In this game, picking it up, if you're Master of Arms, you say, okay, what can I really purge? Not much outside of Haunt and the Bat Blast dot, so there's not that much utility. But if you go into late game where you have like 3 sheep sticks and stuff like that, you can really purge a lot. Even Hellflower you can purge. So if you're really on top of your game and you're paying attention and you're aware of what you can purge, it's a great. Actually, in that game with Bloodhunter,
oh yeah,
you can purge with, as far as Bloodhunter's dot goes, Blood Craze or the Silence. When you purge it, you dispel the bad and keep the good. So you keep the bonus damage, but you get rid of the dot and the Silence. So I think it's a really crazy item to get on Bloodhunter himself, or if you're on his team. Yeah.
Wait,
I do it all the time.
You keep the buff? Really? I didn't know they were separate. That is interesting. Actually, what is Lap doing, by the way? He's going balls to the wall right here. He kind of went by himself when his team was falling back. Not too sure about that decision. But he will be fine at the end. Cersei maybe not so much. Having to play a little bit careful here. Gonna use that deceive, and it looks like, oh, the Kex down, he guessed and he was right. And now support's gonna end up falling. Energy field, don't know how necessary that was, but they get the kill at least. So at least able to pick. Oh wow, he did neutrals. Never mind.
That's neutrals.
Meant to do that. I was wondering what he was saying really too, but yep, that would be that. So, well, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world in the end for a support, but that was definitely fun to watch. But yeah, I'm still actually, wow, I still can't believe the Nullfire thing. That's actually very interesting about Bloodhunter. But so yeah, the idea of Nullfire Blade again, he is going to be going for that Shrunken Head, but we'll see if that's perhaps an item choice for Flensmeister. Playing the Master of Arms, but it seems like it's been a pretty slow game. I mean, especially to the first two. It's only 5-3 hero kills. We're now 20.5 minutes in. Does that surprise? I mean, it surprises me quite a bit because I mean, both teams actually speak for more of an aggressive lineup. Honestly, I would look at these team lineups and be like, oh, this is going to be a passive sit back and more farm game. But it kind of is. Is that surprising?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm really surprised that Law didn't really take to the aggression.
Yeah.
I guess they were timid after the past games. dealing with denial's aggression, and so they just went passive. And I think denial picked up on the outbones once they saw that. They were like, okay, we'll just farm because Pebbles doesn't have a PK, so you can't really do much. So they're just kind of sitting back, stacking, and just farming away.
Yeah, well, that's what they're doing here. More ancient stacks going on and whatnot, and you see at the top lane, Grenix is actually going to push it up a little bit. Needs to be careful because Pebbles is coming in. Oh, but he's going to quickly rift stock away, and that'll be the end of that. So no jump's going to be happening there. Well, as this game is still developing and more farm to be had, I do have an update on another series, actually. Stay Green and Team Excellent. Team Excellent takes Game 3 over Stay Green. So that means Excellent's moving on to the winner bracket semifinals. And Stay Green, for the second time this season, they're being knocked out in the second round. And now the last time it happened, they eventually came back and won to the grand finals. But hey, they're knocked down pretty early, and again, it's this is after the new patch and everything, so you got a lot of people kind of looking at that and wondering how those have to have a change, especially to such a dominating team like Stay Green. But at the same time, Team Excellent, their new makeup with their new roster and whatnot, Keizu and Sender joining the party. It's fun to see that. Nox coming back from Thailand. That's a powerful team in itself, so big result there, though. Keep an eye on that. That progresses, obviously, through this weekend and into the next. But while I was talking about that, you see the top tower obviously picked off by dnL Esports, and now Engineer actually might be in some trouble. Bubbles coming in right here, stuck at the seashell, so there's the lead from Grenix, and an easy kill coming out. So Kongor's up. I wonder, you think this could be a Kongor attempt here?
It seems like it. Taking out NG is pretty big.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it anymore. Yeah. But I think they should have done it, especially because Tempest minions are pretty split. So they can tank it a lot easier, and they already have everybody here.
What is going on over here? Cersei is taking over Pebbles. He stuns him right away as he comes in. Cersei, though, is starting to drop now. Cersei in trouble. He sets Pebbles. He chucks them off. Release Kraken. He will eventually fall. But the Tempest on him in the background. It does catch them all three. That kicks some pushback, but down goes his team in the Grenix. Down goes Tempest. And the Law wins that fight pretty damn big time. Master of Arms. He was way too late to the party. So that really felt like dnL Esports. They were really trying to force something there. And that did not pay off at all. I mean, Bubbles, was Bubbles even there? No, he wasn't even there either. So that was 3 players being there against basically the 5 of the Law. And that kind of backfired.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Slap seems to be going a little bit too early. As with that play middle, he kind of just goes when he wants, when his team isn't there. Master of Arms was nowhere near, and Bubbles was healing in the well from, I think, after they picked off Engineer, he used his mana to nuke the Creep's bottom, and then he went back to the well. So he was nowhere near, so they just took a 3-on-5.
Not what they were looking to do. So all of a sudden, dnL Esports, that lead that they've had this game is really gone away at this point. I mean, you do look at the goalie very slightly for them, but even the experience lead has gone in favor now of the Law. And you look at that, Pebbles is cleaning up more Ancients. Again, his shrunken head is definitely coming up here. Products with those Alchemist Bones, especially 433 gold per minute. Again, continuing to top the charts here. Grimoire Power is finished on Wretched Dagon. Yeah, level 16 is just around the corner as well for her. So there's that good synergy coming out. You look at Bubbles in the meantime. Bubbles actually picking up an Arcana here. Dare I say spell shards? No, it's going to be Hellfire, looks like. As he buys the another Steam staff there. So going to be going for the Hellfire himself. Grenix has the Warhammer first, so could possibly be a shield breaker. Could also definitely be the Shrunken Head. And oh, he might be in some trouble right here, though. Sonar Screen comes out. There's the chain reactions. Dust is finally used. And Grenix does not stand a chance after that. Shrunken Head delivered to Pebbles in the meantime. So the Law gets another pick going. And, you know, you were talking earlier how you're maybe a little surprised that the Law wasn't turning on that throttle of playing aggressive earlier on in this game. Maybe that's going to change here. I mean, they've got a couple of pickoffs now that have been in their favor quite a bit. So. And Tempest Ultimate is down for another 45 seconds. But they're not looking to play too aggressive in the end, so never mind. Never mind.
I think they're just content sitting back and farming. I think taking Pebbles into that pseudo carry role with the Alk Bones, and even Kraken is pretty beefy now. Although he's 0-4 and he doesn't have high GPM, he's able to get a Bulwark.
Yeah.
Kind of out of nowhere. So he's going to be a problem soon to the Hellborn because they don't have that much damage. They have good team fight and really good ulti synergy, and although they do have, good amount of farm on a few heroes, a good amount of farm on 1 or 2 heroes doesn't really match decent farm on like 3 to 4.
Yeah.
With Torture even getting a tablet because he's taking some farm now.
Yeah,
So.
I was actually, you mentioned the damage, and I look at the damage charts. I mean, it's always interesting, too, seeing a hero like Torture, a secondary support in this case, he's actually topping the damage charts over every hero in the game. So that's 16% damage done, but, a hero that's constantly doing AoE with impalement and whatnot, the agonizing bonds, the chain reactions done, so. But it goes to show you that even as a secondary support, I mean, you could do plenty of damage for your team with a hero like Torture, so. All right, though, 27 minutes in now. You got Tempest. He's continuing to farm away at the creep wave. I'm sure he would like a shrunken head, but in fact, yeah, they would have a way. They do got release of Kraken to stop if he manages to get that, but we'll see if Zlapt is able to pick that up here in the near future or not, and then definitely Rest Zone after that, but that's obviously a ways away here. That Hellflower is coming up for Bubbles. I'm sure dnL Esports is going to at least want to get that finished before they can look to take a next fight. And Master of Arms is going the Firebrand route, so going to be going for more of that agility carry style of the Geometer's Bane here with his follow-up. You think that'll be a good decision for Master of Arms?
Yeah, Geo's really nice, especially against Hag. And even if you're pretty quick, you can disjoint Pebbles combo, or at least mess him up getting the right target.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a good item. It's not too hyper-aggressive, but I think it's right in the middle of where he needs to be going for items.
Oh, this is interesting. Cersei actually finding Wretched Hag kind of in the jungle over here. But Wretched Hag blinking away now. The Wretched Hag's level 16, Cersei's level 7. But still got Hag to blink away as he just did not want to risk dealing with anything further. So she blinks away and continues to farm in the meantime. Meanwhile, we have Pebbles over here. Has another 2,300 gold saved up. So you talked about the Soul's Bulwark already picked up by Kraken. So where does Pebbles go next is always fun to see. Especially
I'm hoping for the staff.
Yeah. I don't know if we've seen a staff get in it. I remember when it first came out, especially, we were like, yeah, like the go staff every single game, but they kind of died out because we never saw it. But I take it back. There was the one game at DreamHack that it was picked up. I believe it was by one of the Southeast Asian teams. We happened to jump into the game, and he happened to be group chucking with the Resto Stone staff for the Master. That was actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
Never since then, though. I mean, is it a legit, or is it just more of a...
It's kind of troll. It does great damage, but it kind of just picks the closest... Or it just picks 3 random targets.
Yeah.
So, when I used to do it, I used to tell my team to turn help off, because it would just grab 3 people. Like, Tempest is holding, and someone else is doing something important, and I just throw them all at the other team. So, it's kind of fun to see.
Oh, Wretched Hag, she's fallen to a lonely Bubbles. He gets it, but he blinks at the last second with the Kelpfield still on. And he takes the damage as a result. So he figured he really didn't have much of a choice, maybe, I guess. But blinked a little bit too early right there, and you see the oops coming out in chat after that. But that's a big pick. I mean, Bubbles doing pretty much all that work right there, and obviously got the kill in the end by himself. And now they're going to go right for Kongor. So this is a big window that just opened for dnL Esports. I mean, Hag does have a buyback, but she's not going to be using it at this point. So that's actually a really big kill, now that you think about it. And that means we're going to see a Token of Life, probably on Master of Arms, I would expect. Or is it? He's thinking, okay, there you go. Yeah, he will pick up that Token of Life. But, yeah, definitely a big pick coming out from Bubbles in the meantime. So it was good to see. 3,500 gold on Pebbles, so that staff of the Master is still possible.
We can dream.
We can still dream about it, yeah. No, but really, I mean, so what would you see, though? Like, maybe realistically, something like a Hellflower or a Sheepstick even at this point?
Yeah, those would probably be realistic. I feel like if he was going for the super aggressive route, like people used to do, the Elder Parasite into like demonic, I feel like he would have gotten one of those already. But like you said, Bulwark was already picked up, so I feel like he's kind of forced into getting something like a Shoop Stick or Hellflower, which aren't bad.
Yeah.
Really good in this scenario, especially against someone like Bubbles, who has a Hellflower and he's pretty beefy. He's even, I guess that's a Shrunken Head with the Mighty Blade. It seems he's going for.
Yeah.
Or even he does like Frostal Skull, so that's another option. So pseudo semi-carry Bubbles, locking him down is going to be pretty important.
So again, Pebble sitting on 4,000 gold now. Once again, what's very surprising for the first game today, but both series has been just a very, very timid game by both teams. It's only 7-7, only 14 hero kills now as we're approaching 32 minutes. So both teams, obviously, a bit is on the line. The winner of this moves on to place Lion Esports Clubs in the winner bracket semifinals. So definitely not wanting to make their mistakes here. But as a result of that, Engineer's actually in some trouble. But no, Pebbles comes in. He chucks him in, actually, to his teammate. Energy field goes down, but now Engineer is going to fall. So that was kind of interesting by Pebbles. Pebbles actually struck in heads there in the meantime, too, as he runs away. So I'm not sure what exactly happened right there. But in the end, Engineer falls. Energy field was even used. And now this is going to be a middle tower kill. So it seems like dnL's really getting these pickoffs happening. And as a result, they're getting a tower kill, a conger kill, or whatever. And that's going to be another result right there. We do see, again, Engineer's going to be up in 8 seconds, but he will not have his energy field. So dnL's going to try for a push here. You think this could be successful? Breakthrough?
I think that was a great pick by dnL. I don't know if they can continue this. Pebbles just right-clicks the Hellflower. I think Law should be able to defend this, but them getting picked off is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Especially if they use big things like Shrunken Head on Pebbles and ulti by Engineer. So then it's harder for them to push, but dnL doesn't really want to go for it. They don't want to commit to anything. Just want to play passive, keep farming, get MY to that late game carry stage where he can out-carry the Hag, because Hag is getting pretty beefy.
Yeah. Speaking of that, again, he's just about has that Geometer's Bane of 2,400 gold now saved up. The Hellflower was finished on Pebbles, and actually a catch at the very tail end of that, but they catch Grenix with Pebbles and Kraken coming together to find Grenix and pick up the kill on him. So speaking of pickoffs, this time in favor of the Law. And this should at least result in the top tower. This is the first tower that's still up, so they'll get that one taken out. And they're going to keep it going now. So the Hellborn team in the meantime, dnL Esports, they're going to at least let this go for now. 30 more seconds on that Resurrection. They may be able to get the secondary tower, actually. You do have Cersei going to set in an illusion to kind of scout things out. We'll see if the Law actually fully commits to this or not. Oh, we do have a jump though. Master of Farms just jumped into the side. He's going to fall. Token alive. Wretched Ag is, Cersei takes over. Wretched Ag actually going in right here. He has full mana, unlike the Ro8. But that Tempest ultimate going to be coming out. Wretched Ag, Cersei being locked down. She barely lives. She blinks away the last second. The Tempest ultimate, unfortunately, not the biggest damage follow-up. Although Master of Arms comes in. Down goes Kraken right there. And here comes Grenix now after the Resurrection. Pebbles is going to fall. And now Engineer also going to be picked up. He did not energy field that whole fight. So in the end result, well in favor of dnL Esports. So I was kind of wondering if they should have been pushing there or not further, but that proved to backfire once again. The buyback, actually, Grenix did buy back, by the way. So yeah, he didn't even wait for the Resurrection. That was a buyback right there. And that's actually the other thing to note about Cersei taking over with the ultimate. You saw right there, Wretched Ag herself barely had any mana, but when Cersei took her over, she had full mana. So she was able to do everything.
Yeah, the Cersei ultimate is weird. When you ulti someone, like, you could be at 5 life.
Yeah.
And if he ultis Hag, he gets full life and all of the item cooldowns. So it's pretty crazy.
It certainly is. We do see right here, they're going to try to hold up. Nice take cover from Bubbles. Grenix goes in with the wrist stock, trying to finish out Pebbles. They will finish out Pebbles. Energy field goes down, though. This might be a little bit troublesome spot. Master of Arms going to be locked off to the side. He cannot do much. Deep in the Master's Call going to be coming out. He's putting in damage on the Wretched Hag. He's just taking the damage. Hag is forced to blink away. Torture goes down, but so does Master of Arms. 4 players are still up, though. Make that 3, actually. Tempest's picked off. As a release, the Kraken comes out, but in a very awkward spot. He's trying to maybe catch Bubbles, who was still there, but no, he portal keyed away. And that was not going to happen. So Pebbles did buy back, by the way, but he died again, so... Another thing to note there about that fight. So overall, once again, dnL Esports seems like they're in a great spot. Bubbles, by the way, he talked about the possibility even being a Frostal Skull. It is going to be a Shrunken Head, as that was just purchased by him. But they're going to go into the base now. I mean, there's no more buybacks. This should be a free Rax kill right here. Perhaps we'll see. Yeah, it looks like it is. So free Rax kill coming out in their favor, as I'm having trouble with my controls. Give me a second here real quickly. All right, there we go. No, that's not working. Anyways, so dnL Esports is in a pretty good spot here, right?
Yeah, big team fight because they got a lot of buybacks out of that. They got a lot of cooldowns, the Shrunken Heads and everything, and they still came out on top. And on top of that, they took the Rax. Although it's just the melee, I would still say they won that team fight, and they're pretty ahead as far as gold. They're not ahead by much, but Bubbles picking up that Shrunken, he's going to be even stronger in team fights now. And unfortunately for the Law, the more items they get on any certain hero, Cersei can just take those and become just as strong as they are.
Yeah.
And Master of Arms picking up that Shield Breaker, he was just annihilating people in that fight, like Hag. He just ultied and just manned up and brought her like Half-Life.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I definitely saw in the last fight. He was just being that right-click turret that it can be, especially with that red form, and doing plenty of damage. Kraken at the top lane, actually. He kind of cuts through the river right there, and that proved to be the right decision because if he kept going to the lane, Bubbles actually shell-surfed through. I was looking to catch him if he was still there, so he does escape, though. Going to be fine for now. We'll see where he ends up, but once again, overall, it is a decent lead here for dnL Esports. Engineer, that's just an illusion. Kind of scaring him like it scared me right there, but is going to be fine as just runs into the illusion. You mentioned that shield breaker. That's actually another thing. That's kind of just hitting me, but yeah, he went level 3 shield breaker instead of the Geometer's Bane. She's going to go that for that right-click damage threat here. 2,200 gold saved up on Gridix. 3,000 gold on Tempest. That's big because he has the Shrunken Head, of course. And again, that means the only way right now is the release the Kraken can stop him. And he is well on a way to a Restoration Stone, so that's going to be a big item pickup for him. What do you think about the Restoration Stone Hag? Do you think that could be his next choice here, or do you think he needs that Sheepstick first?
I think he needs another utility item. I think Resto Stone itself, although his ulti is great, I mean, if you get to ulti 4 people twice, that's fantastic. But I don't really think they have enough combo with that, especially with Tempest on the other team. If they had Tempest on his team, I think going Resto here would be fine. But when you have double ulti and double sheep, it makes Resto Stone amazing and well worth it. So I feel he'll probably go for Sheepstick, maybe Hellfire. Sheep's probably a little bit better to lock down the bubbles, and then probably head for something like a Resto Stone.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I got to keep hydrated. All right, 3,000 gold saved up on a Wretched Hag, though, so going to have a possible answer on that in the near future. Kongor, I think, at least has a little bit of time, but the way the Hellborn team is lining up makes me believe that maybe he's going to be popping up here in the near future. Top tower goes down right there, as no one was up there, actually. That was just really the creep wave more so. Kind of getting the push through, so Hellborn team not able to react to it in time, and thus the tower falls. But Flensmeister on Master Farms, he's going to continue to farm away at the bottom lane and bottom jungle and whatnot, kind of doing his own thing down here. While Grinix actually has that Brutalizer picked up, so excuse me. You talk about these kind of heroes, him, the Scout, even the Madman more recently, these really stealth-style heroes good for getting around, but then also locking down a support here in the background. Obviously, Brutalizer, a good item for that as well, so going to be picked up here by Grinix, and has that to work with now. They're going to head over to Kongor. So as expected, Kongor just resurrecting. And they're going to go right to the Kongor pit. What's going on over here? That's an illusion. Once again, the mini-map playing tricks. And even more illusions going to be coming out. So they're not going to be going for Conqueror, actually. They're just going to start warding up around the Conqueror pit, perhaps, and make their way to the bottom lane instead. So they're going to try to get the Law to react right here instead of sitting at the middle lane themselves. So the Law's kind of in an interesting spot, I was going to say. So they're going to go into Conqueror. I don't know. Yeah, you think this could work?
I think support's doing a really great job of just throwing illusions at them.
Yeah.
And getting really, really, like, absurd vision of what they're doing by just throwing illusions at them. And it's working.
Well, here we go. Critics a very early shrunken head. They do not catch Bubbles once more. He only Kelfield's one, though. Hellfire is going to reach that. Critics will jump in. Will it be enough? The tab is only been locked down a couple. It is not going to be. No, they release the Kraken. It was just out of range. He gets the full duration. Bat Blast comes out. Kraken will fall right there. Wretched Aga's in the meantime. Oh, that's a Cersei Wretched Aga, actually. She's going to play. Oh, no, that's the real one. God damn it. Cersei, he's alive in the background. Wretched Hag, the real one, is trying to run as Bubbles is chasing. Yes, they will finish him off. I swear to God, Cersei is going to be the death of me when it comes to casting competitive heroes in New Earth. But anyways, a 4-for-1 exchange, it looks like, as Grenix was the only one to fall. Now, Tempest is over at Conqueror, but he's by himself currently, so I mean, he's not going to solo Conqueror, that's for sure. So it looks like he's going to then join his team, but
A little miscommunication.
A little.
Slapped this game.
He's like, yeah, that's not going to work. So what do you think of this, though? I mean, choosing to push into the base rather than a free Conqueror.
I think Slap not being there is a really huge mistake because they could have gotten the tower. I think that was definitely a huge miscommunication between the team.
Yeah.
Probus probably saying, let's get tower, and then Slap saying, no, let's get Kong. It looks like they'll just try to get Kong, which they probably should. They should be able to get it. And Master of Arms is there to pick up the token.
Yeah.
So, it's the right call.
Yeah, just going to fall back and get the guarantees. The Legion team is heading over, but it's going to be close. No, they're not going to get there. Kraken is here, but he gets there way too late. He jumps in. Uh-oh, here we go. Shrunken Head going to be activated. In the meantime, Kraken is locked down. That's one of those worst-case scenarios. Jumping way too late. He will fall. Wretched Egg just explodes right there. She jumps in, and she just falls to freaking pieces. She does not have a buyback. Torture's holding his ground, but he's going to need to be careful shortly. In the meantime, Pebbles, though, jumps in. They will get the kill on the Critics, but at what cost? Torture goes down. Pebbles, he is not going to stand much of a chance. It's going to be a hat trick for Flensmeister. And I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised. GG, well played. dnL Esports will take game number 3 against the Law. And that means they're going to be moving on to the winner bracket semifinals to play Lion Esports Club tomorrow. But what a series it was. I mean, that was definitely a lot of back and forth. Hell, even especially the last game there. Your final thoughts on that game 3 there, Diglett?
I thought it was really well played by dnL. Their team fights alone. I think Law took a few great team fights, and I think they played it awkwardly, going for the farming route instead of the aggression, although they had double support and a lot of roam. But I think they played it right overall.
Yeah.
And so I think both teams played it really well, but dnL was just ahead each time, and they had more farm on more heroes. So really well done.
Yeah. Yeah, dnL definitely deserving, again, of the series victory in the end. But, again, a fun series it was. A little bit slower for Game 3 right there, at least for most of the earlier on stage, but it definitely picked up by the end. And, again, a lot of fun to watch when it was all said and done. So, really excited to get back into casting, obviously, for several reasons. It's been a little bit of a break. We had the new patch hit, and definitely did not disappoint today. So, I was happy that we got some great series out today in the first couple of rounds. And, hell, it's only going to get better from here, as it usually does, as we move on further and further into the brackets. Just a quick couple of updates I do have for the winners bracket. So, excellent over Stay Green. Team NK defeats Ready for a Miracle 2-1, and then dnL Esports, of course, 2-1, and the Lions 2-0. So those are your results right there. Diglett, do you have any final words, any shout-outs you want to make?
Just shout out to my team. We had a great run while we played. If we do play in the 10th cycle, we'll make it a big show. We like doing interesting stuff. Shout out to all the viewers. You guys are awesome. I'm trying to stream a lot more, so come check out my channel. Shout out to Breaky for keeping on the HoNcast even though you're sick, powering through. It's nice that people still care and still try to make it interesting. So.